you?
Hey, very good, thank you. Finally, two interviews for two directors. I think that's a good thing.
We're not directors. Well, kind of.
We have a short film.
Wow.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Is it already out or?
Yeah, it's already out.
We can send you the link later.
Congratulations.
It's on YouTube.
Oh, cool. Congratulations.
Okay.
Thank you.
And what's
First
more
and
horror
foremost,
movies?
my name is Mike. This is Juan Pablo. We are from a media outlet in Mexico called Horrorama. And first and foremost, congratulations on this amazing new film.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we're going to start with the questions, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, please.
Of course, yes, please.
Okay, perfect. Considering your previous works and because of the title, The Devil's Bath, at first glance, you might think that this is a possession film. Would you say that depression is some kind of possession?
That's actually very nicely put, and that's actually we sometimes bring up in interviews because at least for the people in the, let's say, 18th century, like the peasants, for them, it must have felt like a possession. So, and that the question is like, what is possession? And maybe that's an accurate description. And they described it like the devil's bath is an expression for depression back in those days. So they also drew the connection to the devil, and they thought it was like the work of the devil when you had the symptoms of a depression. So for those people, it was linked, and we really enjoyed this expression, the devil's bath, because it's so visual and it expresses the actual horror that I think people suffering from depression feel.
Yeah.
Okay. We also wanted to ask you which were some of the visual references that help this film that maybe inspire or were a little bit based or maybe that you watch.
Yeah, I
mean, we watched so many movies, and we also like really into old movies. Like we go to the film museum a lot, so we watch everything. We're real cinephiles. So it's not only I mean, there's especially one movie actually, but we rewatched later after The Devil's Bath is by Imamura. I don't know if you know
The Ballad of Narayama. It's from the 80s. It's a remake from a 60s film. It's not a horror film, but it's set in it's a period film and describes a world that's like also peasant, and it's an utterly strange world, but everybody in it behaves as if it was totally normal because it's their daily life. It's about like old people, like they don't have too much food. Winter is coming, so old people at a certain age, when they're not fit to work anymore, they're carried up a mountain to die there. So that's the basic.
But actually, I was wrong because it was not a visual reference for us.
I mean, it is actually.
Yeah.
I think rewatching it, I think the way nature is filmed, I think is very stunning. And visual reference, I mean, we always knew that we didn't want to make a classical period film or historical film because they usually, to us at least, they feel fake. So that's what we looked for most, like period films that feel authentic. And there is like, for example, Andrei Rublev by Tarkovsky about the Russian icon painter. He also says in an interview, none of the things that he shows is actually historically accurate, but they feel authentic. So it's like you don't think about it. Like people are just like they have clothes on. You don't think about them. They work with tools. You don't think if it's accurate or not. But if everybody would be dressed in, let's say, museum pieces and had like a museum piece to work with, that draws a lot of attention by an audience to period and to this history element, and that takes you out of a story, and that makes the whole film paradoxically feel fake in a way. So that's what we really tried to avoid. And visually, I mean, the two main the two main things I think for us was that we wanted to reflect the character's journey into depression and darkness. So at the beginning, she is like nature looks beautiful, the light is still warm and beautiful, and she's able, other than the other people, to see the beauty in the world around her. That's why the world feels rather beautifully. And the longer the film goes, the more she moves into depression. The film moves into winter time, and it gets grayer and rain from colors and darker. So this was one thing that we talked about a lot. And the other thing is that we knew we wanted to shoot on 35 millimeter and with no, or as much as possible, no additional light. So it's all like candles and fire, which makes it very hard to shoot because it's actually too dark to shoot. And the light meter said like error from day one to the last day. But that's what we wanted to go for, because if the film is too perfectly lit, it also looks like created or fake. It looks artificial, and we wanted it to look rougher and darker in order to feel more real in a way.
Yeah. Okay. Anya Plash delivers an amazing performance in the role of Agnes. However, she's better known as her stage name, Soap and Skin. Music in this film plays a huge part. How was the process of having her as both an actress and a composer of the score?
Yeah, actually, I mean, she was not an actress. She's not a professionally trained actress. And we asked her to compose the music first. So we contacted her and sent her the script to get, yeah, to ask her if she would be interested. And then she kind of reacted that strongly to the script, and especially to the character of Agnes, that we kind of felt or understood that she knows more about Agnes than we will ever do. So we asked her if we could audition her, and yeah, that was it basically. I mean, we knew, as she's not a professionally trained actress, you take a risk. You take a risk because we thought, okay, maybe she cannot do every scene as we kind of want her to. But we always shoot chronologically, so that helps actors and actresses because they can grow into her character more than if you shoot like in the usual way. But actually, so we kind of felt, okay, we go with that. But when we started, we soon kind of found out that she just could do everything. Because she is like, as a musician, she's very disciplined and she knows how to repeat things. She's a pianist too, so she's very she knows how to, she can perfectly repeat every take. And this is one part, and the other part is she's this kind of person who wants to be in the moment, who wants to experience something in the moment, and she, even more than us, wanted to everything as much as possible for real.
So, for example, when the husband, after she took poison, wants to make her throw up, she was always complaining take after take that he didn't put his fingers deep down enough her throat. And he was just like showing her his fingers and said, they are not any longer. I'm all the way in. I cannot get in any deeper. So that's the level of dedication that she had. And I think what really makes her such a wonderful gift for the film is that Anya felt connected to this woman and at one point decided, I'm gonna do this. And this is now for the next year the most important artistic thing in my life. And she really, I mean, the level of dedication that she had to do this 100%, we've never seen in any other actress. She was really like willing to do everything and said, because it's important to show this woman's story. And that's more important than me, and it's more important than you, and we have a responsibility to do that, and that was really impressive.
And yeah, she's a musician and an artist now, but she grew up on a farm, actually, on a pig's farm. So she had some background also in her family. There were like grandmothers who had issues like working on a farm among men. So she also researched a lot among her own family and also was very dedicated to the female history of her own family.
So I think she also wanted to tell something about herself and her ancestors, like her female ancestors in a way, and that's why she took it so seriously. And I think why it's ultimately a powerful performance.
Okay.
Okay, that's great. How have you felt the reception of the film in festivals and other countries? Has it suffered some kind of censorship in some sort of way?
Actually, not really. In
Not that we
festivals,
know of.
we don't know about any censorship. I mean, the tough thing was only to get the film financed because it's a historical film, so it's more expensive, and we needed money from Germany also. And in Germany, television always needs to be on board and on board first before they can apply for funding even. And television is much more commercial. And of course, that's not really a television film that we made. So they were kind of scared, and a lot of German co-producers turned down our offer like to do the film together because they said there is no way we're gonna get that money in Germany. And it took a while, but then we found Bettina from Heimatfilm, who actually then co-produced the film and said we're gonna do that. And it worked out, but it was a tough journey to convince all those people. And everybody asked us, of course, how are you going to show the violence? You're not going to actually show that. And we're
The child, yeah.
yeah, but we said, of course, yeah, we'll do that. I mean, it's not sensationalist in a way that you have close-ups and there is a lot of blood and gore, but it should feel, we're convinced it should feel painful. I mean, it's a horrible crime and it shouldn't be fun to watch and it should be painful. So that's why we actually had like 1,000 kids were auditioned just for this one scene because we wanted to find somebody who could really deliver that performance without actually
And when it comes to reaction of film festivals or different countries, obviously they were very different, and we kind of feel that we always make movies for the Spanish speaking countries, so we might move someday, because I don't know if you know, but we won like many awards in Sitges in Spain. We won all the 3 main awards, which did not happen before, and also like in whole like the whole like Mexico, and all our previous films also were very successful. And also, but talking to you and to journalists, we feel always kind of you understand like our movie. It's not the case every time. So there are
it's like, for
more
example,
distanced people who kind of don't wanna be, physically. I mean, I think our movies are very physical, so they attack you and also kind of, disturb you in a way. And not everyone likes that.
and for example, in Germany,
They don't like that.
they don't like it much. In France, they don't like it much. And it's very hard. Like, for example, like having with Goodnight Mommy, all the screenings in the United States were really full. We know that there were a lot of people watching the film in Mexico, not at all in Germany and in France. It was terrible there. And we felt in Austria also not great, and in Switzerland not great. And we felt after 10 years, there were now a few screenings like in Switzerland and in Slovenia. And we felt now the film is more well known and people will show up. In Switzerland, there were like 6 people in the audience, or maybe 7, which was kind of frustrating. And then I went to Slovenia to open a cinema with the film. They showed the film, and the film wasn't shown because nobody came. It was like just 0 people.
But I mean, my personal opinion is it's also about Catholic religion, maybe, because that's what unifies us. Like that's like,
Not
that's
meaning that everybody
Catholic
needs-
culture
Yeah,
is. It doesn't mean it's not about being religious or believing God. It's just about a culture. It's about a society. And it's in Austria, we have this Catholic society. You have it in Mexico, in Poland, where
Yeah.
our film is also very kind of.
Strangely, Poland also works well, so maybe it is a Catholic thing. But yeah, there is definitely countries in which it doesn't work.
Maybe you should move to Mexico.
Yeah.
We'd love to actually. I mean, we told the distributor they should have us come in person because we would love to. We would love to come.
Okay. Well, I think we're running out of time.
No, sorry.
It was amazing talking to you. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you.
You really loved the movie.
It's a fantastic
Yeah,
film.
thank you so much.
Beautiful, it's gorgeous, and it's gonna stay in our hearts for a very long time.
Thank you very
for saying
much.
that.
So,
Thank you.
again, congratulations, and hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, we hope so too. Next time in person, we'll come to Mexico.